Guys, what is going on? Blossom's back, and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. And today's episode, I want to talk about photo finish. This is the next legendary challenge, most likely, that's going to be coming to the game, and this follows the line of special tag challenges that we've been getting since, I think, the first ever one, which was Silver Screen, and then after that was Call of the Wild, and then obviously we've had Ride of the Valkyries, Love Me, Love Me Not, Horror Show, Cutting Edge is the one that's going on right now, and the next one is photo finish. Now, there are a couple things about this that I do want to talk about. There are some main concerns which are bothering a lot of players, and then there are some other types of concerns that are mainly bothering me. So let's talk about photo finish. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the car selection. So in total, there are 128 cars with the photo finish tag. This includes prize cars. However, there are not many cars that are in the photo finish tags that are also prize cars. 20 of them are common, 19 of them are uncommon, 15 of them are rare, 20 are super rare, 21 are ultra rare, 17 are epic, and 16 are legendary. So based off the numbers alone, it's pretty, average. Like, everything is pretty well balanced. But here's the thing that's bothering a lot of people and affecting a lot of players, including myself. If World Expo and all the updates that came after World Expo was not included, then everything that you see here, there would only be 0 legends, which means that every single legendary is World Expo and above. Only 3 epics, which means that the other 14 are quote-unquote new cars. 3 ultra rares, which means that the other 18 are new cars. 8 super rares, which means that the other 12 are new cars, 2 rares out of 15, 6 uncommons out of 19, and 8 commons out of 20. Look, man, I understand that Hutch wants to make more revenue, and the best way for them to make more revenue is for players to have, or to unleash a tag that has cars that players mainly do not have, or at least the majority of the players do not have, because we've not had the time to collect a lot of the cars. But come on, man, do you need to be that obvious about it? Could you at least be a little bit more subtle about it? I don't know, but anyway, I was looking around the Discord servers, and this guy said it pretty spot on. He says, just check new photo finish tag. Absolutely enormous difference from Cutting Edge. Cutting Edge had a very high proportion of cars that had been in the game for a long time. So much so that it was, I thought, a gift to veteran players. And I think that's pretty spot on, because Cutting Edge had a lot of older cars, like the Bugattis and all that, etc., etc. If you were playing the game since like 2017, 2018, chances are you would have gotten some of these better cars already, because you've had about, like a 4 year head start, as opposed to photo finish, where I think most of us at max 1 year head start. That's it, and a lot less if you're considering the other updates like Enter the Black Forest and Lock to Lock and Asia Pacific Grand Prix and Pacific Coast Highway, etc., etc. Anyway, he continues in saying loads of cars that you have kept and max over the years. This new one, however, is almost the opposite. Hardly anything from before World Expo. This is reserved to those who've spent money more recently, by the look of it. It is an observation. It doesn't mean like it's not like a pro or a con. It is an observation, and a really good observation. A lot of people are seeing it as a con. It is very much an obvious cash grab, which, I mean, honestly, I get it. Like, you need revenue. I get it. I need it too, because I don't make money from YouTube anymore. So if you want to support the Patreon, you can. But like, you don't need to make it that obvious, do you? I don't know about that. So I think that's the thing about it. Like, the fact that they're just literally making it so completely obvious that maybe pissing people off a little bit. Like, the least you could do was add, like, I don't know, 1-2 OG legends in there to kind of just level out. I mean, it doesn't level out the playing field, but it kind of sugarcoats it a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's no shame in this. There's no shame in this. Obviously, they just want to go for World Expo and above. And one extra thing that annoys me a little bit more is that, if this was a standalone event, okay, yes, this is the first challenge in a while where we are only focusing on World Expo cars and above, then that's fine. But literally for the entire year of Top Drives, it has felt like every single event, every single tri-series, and almost every single challenge has been focused on a set amount of cars that came out in the last 365 days. I know Cutting Edge just happened, and that's a great change of pace, but it really feels like 9 out of 10 times it's just World Expo and above. It's like the game has forgotten about Italian Renaissance, French Renaissance, German Renaissance, American Dream, and not even updates. Don't even think about updates. OG cars. that came in 2017, 2017, not 2016, but in 2017, those cars are literally just collect dust now. It's really, really sad. But yeah, that is an observation. But let me tell you about what bothers me even more. I think the fact that, you know, most of the cars are brand new bothers a lot of players, and it bothers me too. But what bothers me even more is the fact that it's called photo finish, but it doesn't really mean anything. I like it when special event tags mean something, you know. Call of the Wild meant something. They were really on brand to what they were called. There were Vipers, there were Raptors, you know, things named after things that you see in the wild. Things about silver screen, you know, it was about cars that were seen in movies, and they were pretty accurate to that as well. But photo finish it doesn't make any sense. I feel like the criteria is just unbalanced. Like, what is photo finish, right? Obviously over here, as you can see, photo finish is according to the actual definition, a finish of a race in which contestants are so close that a photograph of them crossing the finish line has to be examined to decide the winner. You know, things where you need VAR basically, right? And it's funny because back in the day when Call of the Wild and Silver Screen was released, in the patch notes, Hutch would actually explain what the tag means, but now in their update page it just says get your cameras ready for our photo finish collection series. They don't even really tell us what car makes the criteria anymore. Like, look, if it means, you know, finishing, you know, or finishing a race or something, then I mean, look at the variety right here, right, of photos, I guess, for photo finish. Only the Porsche 911 is the only rolling shot. Everything else is like, I mean, white background. Really, this is photo finish. The Alpha 147, the HSV Maloo, is that really considered photo finish? They've already finished, but it doesn't seem like they've finished a race because there's no background. The TBR Tuscan doesn't seem like it's finishing anything. If anything, it's just going for a photo shoot. So the tag doesn't make any sense, in my opinion, and that's what bothers me. If you're gonna make, you know, a themed event, then make it accurate to the theme that it's called. I don't understand why that is so hard. So this is what I think photo finish should have been. I think scrap photo finish, change the name to picture perfect, and then I think this would be really cool. Just choose the coolest photos, right? Just choose the coolest photos and call it picture perfect. So this is what I would have done, okay? So I'm gonna say, I thought it would be fun. You know, we know how many cars Hutch has chosen for photo finish, so let's replace photo finish with picture perfect, but keep the same amount of numbers. So Hutch selected 20 cars for photo finish. Well, no, now I'm gonna select 20 cars for picture perfect. I don't know, I just think that this would have been a way cooler event, not because, you know, the cars are better or there's a lack of variety. That's not what I'm talking about. This is a completely aesthetic standpoint, and I just want themes to be accurate to what they are being perceived as or what they're being promoted as. You know what I mean? So this is my version, okay, of photo finish, which is basically picture perfect. Let me know down in the comments below if you would prefer seeing this or what Hutch has actually provided. One thing that I do want to counter argue for those people that do argue, that are annoyed that most of the cars in photo finish are newer cars. One thing that I will say is that most cars that came World Expo and after World Expo that came into the game tend to have better photos anyway. So I can see a little bit of sense in that, okay? But anyway, let's get on. 20 comments. These are the 20 comments that I would choose. So basically, like, these are, in my opinion, what I think are the 20 nicest photos for comments. There's a decent variety here. Not in terms of statistics. I did not care about statistics when I chose these cars. I only cared about the photos and the photos only. You know, we got some blank backgrounds like the Lincoln Versailles, but it's really cool. The blank background works. We have some really nice, you know, backgrounds as well. We have cars in motion. We have cars in standstill. We have some pretty interesting angles, cars that are turning, cars that are going forward. It's pretty nice in my opinion. Like, this is what I would choose for the 20 cars for picture perfect. Some of my favorite cars would be these 6 over here. The Suzuki Hustler, I just think has a lot of presence in the photo in terms of the angle. The MK1 Cortina is just a really solid photo. I like the background for the Chrysler by Chrysler, and I like the background for the Tahoe as well. The Tahoe kind of shows a really beautiful natural background background, but the Chrysler by Chrysler showcase is a really beautiful man-made background, right? I'm pretty sure that's of Parliament and the Big Ben and everything like that. And then obviously we have some more simplistic photos like the Hyundai Pony and the Lincoln Versailles, which really just shifts their focus to the car and the car alone, but it showcases it in a very interesting and unique angle. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Anyway, moving on to uncommons. Obviously 19 uncommons were selected for photo finish. This is probably the 19 that I would have selected for picture perfect. And as you can see, I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. As long as the photo is nice, I'm going to select it. There are 3 Morgans over there. I mean, realistically, a lot of the Morgans in top drives have some really, really banger photos. What I realized when I did this video, when I made this video, because I went through every single common and every single car in the game, basically, I realized a lot of Morgans have really nice photos. A lot of Mercedes has a lot of nice photos. And a couple of BMWs as well. So that's always pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, BMW has like 200 over cars, so they're bound to get some nice cars. Porsche has a lot of nice photos as well. So these are, in my opinion, like the top 19 pictures over through a really quick skim of every uncommon that I've seen in the game. My 6th favorite out of the bunch would be the Maserati Indy. The Maserati Indy has been one of my favorite photos in the game for a very, very long time. Literally since the Renaissance, actually. The Mercedes 300 SL, which recently got a photo change, is so much better than what it used to have. The Morgan Plus 4 is a really solid photo. I love the navy blue to blackish rims, along with that navy blue bodywork. It's beautiful. And obviously the Citroen AX, another car that got a photo change. Love a car in action. Love, love, love. All right, moving on to rares for my so-called picture perfect tag. These are the 15 rares that I have selected. Again, a great variety of some more plain backgrounds with interesting angles of the car, with some more, natural backgrounds of the Suzuki Jimny in the snow, and more man-made backgrounds with the Bufori MK2 behind that wall. I don't know. I just think that's a really nice photo. It's really high quality as well. These are some of my favorites, and obviously the 6 favorites from that selection would be the Suzuki Jimny. Obviously, that is one of the nicest rare photos in the game, in my opinion, especially when it's drifting, I guess, in the snow. The Mercedes-Benz 300 is a very 80s vibe, where it gives off a very 80s vibe. The lens flares absolutely everywhere. I love that, and I love the colors. It reminds me of a sunset almost. The pinks, the purples, the oranges, and the yellow, the cream yellows, looking really, really nice. Cars like the Lincoln Navigator and the Triton, I think they just fit those photos, fit their cars so perfectly because it exudes so much presence when you look at them with the low angle shots and everything like that. Suzuki Ignis Sport, obviously, it's cute and jumpy, we love that. And the Rover 220, it just looks very ominous, black background, black car, but it isn't very monotone at the same time because of the reflections that you see in the photo. I think that this is some really solid pictures for my picture perfect kind of reality. Moving on to super rares, 20 super rares to select for this one, and these were the 20 that I went for. Obviously some mainstays like the Dodge Charger RT. I mean, I have a very, very heavy bias towards that car, but it is a really good photo. We have rolling photos of the Audi Quattro, the BMW Z4, the Hyundai i20N, and then we have some standstill photos like the Lincoln MKC, as well as the Mitsubishi Rayder Baja. But yeah, personally, I just think that this is a way nicer variety than the super rares that are given to us in photo finish. And again, a lot of these cars are actually World Expo and above. And like I said, when I was doing this video and when I was selecting the cars, it did occur to me that most cars that came after World Expo tend to have better pictures, and I think that's one thing that Hutch has really improved on, and that is just upgrading the quality of the photos. It's just a shame that they didn't select those photos for photo finish, which I feel like, is trying to represent nicer photos of cars. So I think this is the top 20 in my opinion. Some of my favorites would be the Volkswagen Jetta, which got a recent photo overhaul, the BMW M5. You cannot go wrong with a sunset picture, I'm gonna be honest with you, or a sunrise photo, if anything. Chevrolet Silverado has been one of my favorites for a very, very long time. A car in its so-called natural habitat. You cannot go wrong with that. I absolutely love the Mitsubishi HSR 4 photo. The reflection is gorgeous. It is black and white, but honestly, I think it fits, honestly. It is really, really cool. And I love the gradient for the Mitsubishi Rayder Baja, because it's like, it slowly goes from like sand to ocean almost. It's really cool. Anyway, moving on to ultra rares, there are 21 cars to select from, and I gotta say, ultra rares were the hardest. I feel like when it comes to banger photos, ultra rares or epics tend to have the nicest photos in the game. Surprisingly not legendaries in my opinion. But when it went into the top 21, this was what I went for. Again, most of these are actually rolling shots. I don't think I even selected a single ultra rare photo of a standstill shot. Besides the Holden Commodore, I think every single one else is a rolling shot. Some of my favorites would include the Nissan 370Z, which still until today remains my favorite JPT photo. The Honda NSX, another OG photo that I've loved for a very, very long time. Very, very 90s, late 80s vibe. The Mitsubishi Pajero Evolution is a ridiculously good photo. The entire car is in the frame. The quality is high. Everything about it I just love. And I just love the colors in the Hyundai Santa Fe. Just kind of the ocean in the background and the beach. The vibes is just right. It's just right, honestly. Obviously L200 is really nice. The Commodore is really good. But this is my selection of ultra rares. I kind of want to look at it one more time. I'm really proud of this one. I don't know why. I just really love these photos. It's kind of funny because in the actual photo finish, I think only a handful of these cars were actually selected. And when I mean a handful, I think only the Subaru Legacy. I think the Commodore. I can't remember. I don't have the photo finish cars memorized. But I think this is just a way better selection, honestly. Moving on to epics, 17 epics to choose from. These were the 17 epics that I chose. Obviously, there's some really banger photos like the Alfa Romeo Disco Volante Spider. That angle is so good. The Lotus Evora Sport 410, which a lot of you may know is one of my favorite photos in the entire freaking game. The Subaru WRX STI, which actually is photo finish. I'm glad about that because that is a really beautiful photo. Mazda RX-7 Evo Group B, the Lincoln Aviator. The ironic thing is, right, a lot of the photos that I actually have chosen here make more sense to be photo finish cars than some actual photo finish cars that Hutch selected. White backgrounds. But yeah, if anything, in my opinion, these are some of the nicest epic photos in the game. Some highlights would be the Bentley Flying Spur V8, which is one of those cars that got a photo revamp, and my god is it good. The Porsche 911 GT3 3.6, something about the gradients in the background, not the gradients, but the colors in the background, makes it pop so much, and it contrasts so well with the yellow in the Porsche. Honestly, one of the most peaceful photos in the game, in my opinion. One of the most peaceful images. Obviously, the Lotus Evora Sport 410 will always remain, or will remain, as one of my top 3 favorite photos in the entire game. I would like to print that and frame that. The Subaru WRX STI, I mean, dude, the freaking sun is in that too. It's amazing. The Lancer Evo, I mean, again, snow and cars that are jumping, you cannot go wrong. I love them. And the Audi Sport Quattro, probably one of the nicest photos to come from World Expo. Love that picture. And last but not least, we end up with legendaries. 16 legendaries to choose from in terms of the nicest photos in the game. These are the ones that I am going for. Surprisingly, I did not select the Viper ACR. I just think that the Viper ACR has a fantastic photo, but it would be better if it just zoomed out just a little bit more where I could see the back of the car. Then definitely I would put it back in this list. But yeah, straight up for picture perfect, you gotta have these cars, man. They are just perfect in every single way. Again, if this was a carbon fiber pack, and these were the 16 legendaries that I would have to open, I wouldn't say it's the best thing in the world, because I wouldn't want to get a Brabham BT63 or a BMW 545 or a Range Rover Sport SVR or a McLaren 12C. But there are some good cars in the end, you know, if I was looking at it through a buying perspective or a revenue perspective, with like the Porsche GT2, the GT2 RS and the RSR 19. And obviously you can't go wrong with cars like the Pagani Zonda HP Barchetta as well. Love that car. It just makes more sense in my opinion. This might just be me making a video to kind of just make myself happy, you know, to give myself false hope that this, you know, tag would ever be a thing. But I really wish it was. Anyway, some of my favorite photos would be the Mercedes AMG GTR. I mean, that is one of the nicest legendary photos from World Expo, if you ask me. The BT63 is one of the best photos from Asian Pacific Grand Prix, if you ask me as well. Pagani's on the Roadster, very solid. I do love that angle, seeing the 4 exhausts at the back. The BMW M3 Competition M, the Porsche 911 GT2 RS, one of those cars that, you know, has been in the game for a very long time, but I think until today is the one of the nicest photos in the game. And of course, the McLaren 12C GT3, which recently got a photo change, and it has a really unique angle, and it would be perfect if it was 69 instead of 59. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for today. Let me know down in the comments below if you would prefer seeing seeing something like a picture perfect tag over the photo finish. Let me know if photo finish even makes sense to you as the name, because some of the cars don't even look like they're finishing a race. And if you are annoyed about the variety of cars where most of them are coming from World Expo and what comes after the update. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for today. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm gonna stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville.